Hey YouTube, MDEX Music here. Welcome to another episode of Upper Structure Fridays, Season 2. And this season, we're looking at chordals. If you're not familiar with upper structures, I strongly suggest you check out Season 1, which is available now as an entire course featuring interactive PDFs, demos, and much more. You can click on the link here or just check the description down below. Also be sure to watch the introduction to this series where we explain both what chordals are and how we're going to use them to create new colors in music. Today we're going to look at a major 7/4 altered chordal built on the flat 7 of a dominant chord. It's going to be notated like this: flat 7, major 7/4 over dominant 7. Yet another great chordal to use for any sort of dominant 7 chord with a sharp 9. So if I have an A7, the flat 7 is G. So I build my major 7/4 altered chordal starting on G, and I get G, C, and F sharp. This is going to contain two tensions, the sharp 9 and the natural 13. So if I play my A7 down here, and my major 7/4 altered chordal up here, G, C, and F sharp, when I put them together, the color I'm going to get is this. To construct this upper structure, we simply play a major 7/4 altered chordal over a dominant 7 chord, starting on the flat 7 of that chord. For example, in A7, the flat 7 is G. So we simply have to play a G major 7/4 chordal on top of A7. We now have an A7 with a sharp 9 and a 13. This is another voicing related to our two previous upper structures, the 3 major 7/4 and the 3 major 7 sharp 4. And again, there's only a 1-note difference with the 3 major 7/4. Here are the ways that you can think about this chordal. Play a major 7/4 altered chordal starting on the flat 7 of that chord. For a more independent perspective, just think a major second below the root and play the major 7/4 altered chordal on that note in any inversion. So again, considering the similarities between today's upper structure and the last two, you might be asking yourself, what's the point? And again, we'd like to reiterate that your choices should be deliberate, right? So when you have these subtle differences, highlighting them or not using them or omitting them can make all the difference in the world. In fact, this upper structure also suggests the symmetric diminished scale. So we can apply it in exactly the same manner that we did with the 3 major 7/4 in Misty from episode 18. All right, so let's take a second and talk about the subtle differences between today's upper structure and episode 18's. And like we said, we're going to use this little 2/5 in Misty to highlight that. So this E flat 7 to A flat major 7 movement is what we're going to kind of hone in on. So today's upper structure, what's cool about it compared to episode 18's is that they contain the same exact tensions. And in our case, in this context, F sharp and C. With today's upper structure, what we have accompanying those two tensions is our 7th, which is cool. That's a guide tone. But if you remember in episode 18, we had the C and the F sharp, all right? But now we're dealing with the 3. So yet a different guide tone. And why does this matter? What are the consequences that might occur as a result of using this upper structure versus that upper structure? So one great way to voice your chords on the piano, especially as it relates to our upper structures, is this idea of 2 plus 3, having 2 notes on the left hand and then 3 on the right. Now usually one of your notes on the left hand is going to contain a guide tone and the other one is going to have the root. So depending on which voicing I want to use on my left hand, that might dictate which upper structure we're going to use here. So in other words, if I'm going to go with the root and the 3rd on my left hand for this E flat, right? So I have E flat and G. There is absolutely no need for me to use episode 18's upper structure where I'm playing the 3rd and the tensions. This E flat and G, root and 3rd, whether you're playing it as a 3rd or a 10th, would suit or fit much better today's upper structure because that has my 7th and my tensions. So I have my E flat and my G down here, and then today's upper structure, the 7th, and then my 2 tensions up here. If I wanted to go with the root and the 7th for my 2 notes on the left hand, my guide tone now being the 7th on the left hand, this is a perfect candidate for what we were talking about in episode 18, because that had my 3rd and the tension. So all the guide tones are accounted for here, and my 2 tensions. We can also take this a step further. If we took episode 18's upper structure, our 3 major 7 sharp 4, a great way to resolve that is by going to episode 9's upper structure, the 6-4-7. So you would have here, and you get this really cool parallel movement on the right hand that has my guide tones and highlights the tensions. And my left hand voicing is sort of dictating what I'm doing here, like we mentioned before. So now let's say the 2 notes on my left hand are the root and the 3rd, E flat and G. This would be a perfect opportunity or a perfect time to use today's upper structure that has the 7th and the tensions. And if I were to do that, the best way to resolve that is through the use of episode 4's 3-4-7 perfect chordal. So let's hear it again. We have root in the 3rd, down here, 7th, and then our tensions, resolving to this, the 3rd, the tension, and then another tension. The whole point is that you look at upper structures from different perspectives. Each perspective will open up different doors. Any of these ways of thinking is useful. All right, it's that time again. Time for your upper structure challenge of the day. See if you can picture the flat 7, major 7-4 chordal on top of the given dominant 7 chord. As usual, we'll give you 4 beats to think about it, and then we'll show you the answer. G7, F major 7-4, D7, C major 7-4, E flat 7, D flat major 7-4, A flat 7, G flat major 7-4, D flat 7, B major 7-4. All right, that does it for today. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of Upper Structure Fridays. Don't forget, Upper Structures Season 2 Quartals is now available as an interactive PDF with all of these video lessons, 12 key workouts, and demo songs showing you how to use these techniques over real jazz standards. Like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell to stay up to date on current content. We're gonna leave you today with our demo showing you the use of the flat 7 major 7-4 chordal on top of dominant 7 chords. Enjoy.